folks, Michael Castelli with Castelli Consulting. Recently I was having a great conversation with a group of small business owners. And we were talking about ways in which we can increase the revenues of their business, ways that we could really maximize their margin rates, how we could lower their expenses, and ultimately increase the profitability of their business. And I was thinking about it, and the conversation we were having really applied to large organizations as well, especially if you're a district manager and you've got a district that you just took over, and maybe that district isn't doing as well as it should be doing, or if you're a region director taking over a larger market, or even a VP taking over a division. If you don't have a process in place, it's very easy to get frustrated, and when you get frustrated, you tend to make bad decisions. The SRP process can keep you focused. Now, in the SRP process, it really wraps itself around three key components. The first component is simplicity. Simplicity in all the processes. You really want to simplify everything within your marketplace so things and activities are easily actionable. You don't want things to be very, very complicated because there's so many things that need to get done. The next component is realistic activities. When you're putting activities together, you want to make certain that you consult with the field so the activities are realistic and they don't just look good on a piece of paper, but you can actually work on those activities in real world scenarios. And finally, you want to always look at profitability. You want to make certain that everything you're working on will ultimately enhance the profitability of your business. Because if it's not going to enhance the profitability, what's the sense of what you're doing? Makes no sense. Now, there are 5 stages to the SRP process. Now, the first stage is the exploratory stage. Now, in the exploratory stage, you're doing just that. You're exploring, you're learning everything that's important about that business. And to do that, you have to speak to the team members. You have to speak to team members at all levels and make very certain that you don't miss speaking to your newest team members, because your newest team members are looking at things out of the eyes of a customer, a client, or a guest. Remember, they haven't worked for the organization that long, so they're still looking at things a little differently than you. So therefore, their opinion is very, very valuable. You also want to make sure that in the exploratory stage, you're kind of getting a feel of what those key KPIs are that you need to work on in that particular market. Remember, it may be totally different than your previous business or even the previous market that you worked in, right? You cannot use a paintbrush. Now, after the exploratory stage, you go to the discovery stage. Now, in the discovery stage, you finalize the KPIs. What are those key performance indicators that we have to work on? What are the key products that are selling the most? What products aren't selling the most? What products do we make the most money on? What products do we make the least money on, or services for that matter? And then finally, you want to always look at your expenses. You want to look at payroll. How does the staffing look like? How does the overtime look like? You want to take a look at real estate. What are the rents that we're addressing here? So it's very important that when you get to that discovery stage, you spend some time really uncovering the KPIs that you're going to have to work on. Now, after you've established that, you go to the developmental stage. Now, in the developmental stage, that's when you start putting together the activities that the field will work on to either enhance sales or enhance margin rates or control expenses, and spend a lot of time working on those operational excellence procedures. Because if you're driving sales, but you're not protecting those sales and your operations are sloppy, nothing will fall to the bottom line. Remember, you have to respect your operations at all times. Now, after you worked on that developmental stage, you go to the communication stage. But you don't communicate it to everyone just yet. Get some subject matter experts and work with your subject matter experts and show them what you come up with. Does it make sense? Let them tell you, and if it doesn't make sense, address it, adjust it, so that when you do communicate it to everyone, you're communicating it after you've gotten the buy-in of the subject matter experts that are actually working in the field. Now, finally, after you've done that, then you can communicate to everyone about some of the changes you're going to make within the marketplace, some of the new activities you're going to work on, some of the new operational excellence activities, and it will make sense and you'll get more buy-in. And then finally, the last stage, obviously, is the launch. But in order for that launch to be effective and efficient, you've got to make sure that you follow all the stages. I hope this SRP process helps you a bit in everything that you do. As always, have a great month. Hope your profitability is skyrocketing, and go out there and make a positive impact on people's lives. Thank you very much. Have a great day, folks.